Okay, so let's talk about simple onboarding from zero to fully set up. Everything you need to start with HelpingHands.cash, step by step. Simple, easy to start, duplicatable, built to grow, powerful, real momentum, secure, you're in control. So simple, duplicatable, powerful. The simple onboarding guide. So step one is to get your wallet ready. I recommend Trust Wallet. I recommend Trust Wallet for many reasons, which I'll get into in a moment. But you could also use MetaMask. MetaMask is very popular for those who like to use their computer, like to log in to their accounts with a computer. So you could download the MetaMask web extension on all the browsers. I think there's not a browser that is not compatible to the MetaMask web extension. But I want to take the opportunity to say that Trust Wallet also has a web extension, and I'm starting to like the Trust Wallet web extension much better than MetaMask. Now, some people like to use SafePal. I've used it once or twice. I'm not too familiar with it, but it's still compatible with our website. And then there's also TokenPocket. And why these four? These four are Web3 cryptocurrency wallets. These are the wallets. Choose one, and this will enable you to receive your recurring rewards, the contributions assigned to you. The only thing is, again, the reason why I like Trust Wallet better, for example, on the web extension, when you use Trust Wallet, it recognizes that our website, not being a regular website, it is a DApp. It's called DAPP, that stands for Decentralized Application. So Trust Wallet recognizes that our website is a DApp and immediately switches the network to Polygon. While with MetaMask, you got to install the Polygon network manually. Shout out to my great friend, brother Ron, who did it himself, but not everybody could do it. And that's the reason why I recommend Trust Wallet. But again, if you think that MetaMask or SafePal or TokenPocket is better, you decide. So basically, you download a wallet, you create the wallet, or you maybe already have a wallet. You safely store your recovery phrase. Unlike your Gmail or Facebook or TikTok, where they have a feature where if you lose your password or you forgot your password, you can retrieve your password in a Web3 wallet on the blockchain. If you lose what they call your recovery phrase, which is a set of 12 words and sequence, if you lose that, you can never recover that wallet, and also never share your recovery phrase with anyone but yourself. So your wallet equal your control, and that's what makes it powerful. You're really in control. Step two, add funds. So you can buy crypto these days in many different ways. You could buy with debit and credit card through even in Trust Wallet. I'm sure you could do it in MetaMask or SafePal or TokenPocket. You probably could do it with Apple Pay and Google Pay, because I've seen it connected with MoonPay. It depends where you are located, will give you the different options to buy crypto. You got local payment methods like P2P on the Binance chain, for example, people to people. You buy DAI on the Polygon, it's called POS. That stands for proof of stake. So you need DAI and a little bit of POL, that used to be called Matic, for gas fees. Now I'm going to give you a tip. I think in Trust Wallet or wherever, you should buy poll only. Once you get poll and you have the poll in your Trust Wallet, let's say someone wants to start at the first contribution level or the first two contribution level. That's 15. There's a two die one-time activation fee, so that becomes 17. So let's say, and it's a good example because most of the time the minimum amount to buy crypto is $20. So you buy $20 worth of poll, which is Polygon, the native token, and it's sent to your Trust Wallet, or you send it to your Trust Wallet. Once you receive it, you immediately swap $17 or $17 worth to get DAI. You get DAI, and the rest you leave it in poll for gas fees. The gas fees are not even a cent, but you'll have enough, for gas fees, and because you always need a little bit of poll to move your DAI when you want to cash out, send some DAI to people, whatever. So always leave some poll. So my recommendation is buy poll, POL first, then swap for the amount of DAI that you need in Trust Wallet. Or if you already have some crypto, like some people maybe already have some USDT BEP20, you may swap it for DAI Polygon, which is the POS, proof of stake DAI stable coin. And for example, if you swap $100 of USDT BEP20, which is the Binance Smart Chain USDT for some DAI Polygon, you're going to receive 99.65. So it costs you barely 35 cents to do what they call a cross-chain swap. You're swapping from the Binance Smart Chain to the Polygon. So that's my advice. Get Pole, swap it for DAI, but you need DAI for contribution and a little bit of Pole for gas fees. So simple funding, fast activation. I gave you more. So step 3, activate your position in the gamification of crowdfunding. Go to HelpingHands.cash. You'll probably have a referral link similar to what you see on the top right-hand corner, your personal invitation link. And then you'll receive that from the person who invites you, and then you'll connect your wallet when you get to the website. So now, depending again what you're using, if you're using Trust Wallet, for example, when you get on our website, when you click connect, by default, you'll be on the Ethereum network. You need to change it to the Polygon network and then click connect or continue or whatever it is. And then when you get on the right network, it brings you to the register page. On the register page, you have 10 contribution levels to choose. You could choose 5. You could choose 5 and 10. You could choose 5, 10, 20. You can't skip the lower levels if you want to go to the higher levels. It's sequential and they works together. For example, if I wanted to do the 80 DAI, I would be obligated to contribute 5, 10, 20, 40, and the 80. That's a total of 155. And then once I invite 2 or more that do the same, the system would upgrade me to the 6th level, the 160, then the 320, 640, 1280, 2560. So as simple as that. On the right-hand side top corner is a little preview of how the back office looks. At the top, you see the logo, welcome, about us, stay connected, go to app. Is literally how our website looks like. When you log in, you see the amount of invited members you would have. Your team is the total of invited members and their invited members. Then you see the total of amount of DAI that you would receive. So activate your position, choose your level, and activate to start. Build your matrix, help your matrix fill by inviting people. So invite 2 or more, or you can invite all 6. There's no limit to how many people you can invite. Keep it moving. When your matrix fills, cycles. When your matrix fills, it cycles in the system. So every time these 6 positions get completed is what we call a cycle, a completed cycle. You may call it a round. This is a completed round. So there's unlimited cycles that can be completed because you only have 6. And you know what's crazy? Once you invite 2, which is 1 and 2, and your 2 invite 2, that's 3, 5, 4, 6, your cycle is complete. This closes and a new one reopens, and you're repositioned in your inviter's matrix because he or she is doing the same thing. So you're repositioned in their matrix, and then when your 2 or more do the same thing, they rejoin you in your matrix. So it becomes like a loop. It's looping, it's recycling. That's why we call it a cycle. And that's what changes everything. So activation unlocks momentum. Once you invite 2 or more, it's simple. So step 4, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Share with 2. Copy your personal link, share it with 2 people. Want faster results, invite more than 2. It creates spillover, it speeds up cycle. So you see the first step in that section is you invite. Share your link with 2 people. So that would be the first 2 that follows you. Then the second part is they duplicate. They each share with 2 people, and then you see each have 2 that follows them. So they share with 2 people. That's 4 total. So 2 plus 4, that's the 6 levels. So cycle completes. Your 2 by 2 matrix is filled, and both sides fill. Your first cycle is complete. Momentum builds. The system repeats and grows. So cycle repeat. Momentum grows. And okay, I didn't see, there's a weird typo here. Grows, the community moves together. I gotta correct this. When your 2 people do the same and complete their cycles, they are re-entered and repositioned in your 2 by 2 community matrix in the next available position. Now you can have someone that completes cycle faster than you. It's not a competition, it's a cooperation. And you'll see that person, you could see that one person appear up to 4 times in one current cycle. You can see that person appear as number 3, then they complete a cycle, come back as number 4, then they come back as number 5, then they come back as number 6 to help you complete your current cycle. So it's really a teamwork that makes the dream work. So step 6, cash out. A lot of people want to know how to go about this. Depending where you live in the world, again, in 2026, it's so easy to do this compared to 6 years ago or even 10 years ago. So when you're ready, when you receive, enough that to your heart's content, and you need some in local currency because you got obligations, you got bills to pay and things like that. So the simple way to go about this is to send your DAI to an exchange is what we call off-ramp. Now, the popular off-ramp providers or central exchanges, you have Binance, you have Coinbase, you have MoonPay, you have Transact, and you have many more. They have Kraken. Depending where you live, there's many methods. And what happens is when you send your crypto, it could be DAI. For example, if I send DAI to Binance, then I'm selling my DAI basically to Binance, and I could get something else. I could get Bitcoin, I could get Ethereum, or I could literally say, I want the money to go to my bank account or whatever options they provide. So the withdrawal methods, bank account, card, local payment methods, P2P supported in regions. For example, in Africa, they do P2P, which is really peer-to-peer. So they buy crypto from another user through, imagine Binance have a peer-to-peer section, or for that, even with trading, and then they can sell crypto to someone who wants to buy. So look, and then also what I would suggest is look for virtual debit cards that accept cryptocurrencies. The first one that was very popular is crypto.com. Crypto.com I've been hearing it for the last 5, 10 years. They offered even physical, cards that look like credit cards with the Visa, MasterCard logo on it. And what they did is that they have their own native cryptocurrency called CRO, CRO. And as long as you bought, let's say $500 of CRO, and you staked it, that means you bought the CRO and you didn't spend it, then they would send you a card that would allow you to spend up to $10,000 US dollars worth of crypto as long as you stake your CRO. And if the more CRO you stake, the more I think they had even a version like a black card, like a Visa, MasterCard, they have a black card or something like that. So I think they have something like that. So they were the first ones. Now there's so many. There's one I know in particular called Onboard, onboard.xyz. I strongly advise you guys to go check that onboard.xyz. And for example, if you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, and so on, you can send it to them. And within 5 minutes or less than 10 minutes, you can spend that online, Google Pay, Apple Pay, and you can create multiple virtual debit cards. So you could have one debit card just for, let's say, recurring subscriptions like Netflix or ChatGPT or whatever. You could have another card for discretionary purchases, stuff that you just want for yourself. So again, there's so many solutions for you to cash your crypto. Just do your due diligence and you'll find what works for you. So what happens next? Convert it to local currency, sent directly to you. So this becomes secure. Your funds, your choice. Fast, move from crypto to cash with ease, global, multiple options that fit your world, and accessible everyone, everywhere. Real financial freedom, your crypto, your control. You could see that our approach is totally different. We're not a quote unquote, home-based business or MLM or any to that effect. And we are different from traditional crowdfunding. When you think about crowdfunding in Web3 and you think about, Web3, blockchain, and things like that, you got to mention our name, HelpingHands.cash, the gamification of crowdfunding. And then we also have another version called the 10X version. Literally, what we have is an ecosystem. It's called the HelpingHands.cash ecosystem. It includes the original version that we're looking at right now, HelpingHands.cash, and it also includes Helping Hands 10X.cash. Give us a few weeks. We're bringing it back online, aligned with the original version with 10 contribution levels, 10 times more the numbers that you already see. So again, I want to say, here's a few reminders, important reminders. No technical expertise needed. It's really based on your network, will determine your net worth. You can raise funds, you can do some real decentralized crowdfunding, community-driven crowdfunding. And that's where, like the reason why I say that is we receive memes and stuff every day, right? We receive it from friends and family. And what do? We share it with other people. We duplicate. So let's duplicate to help ourselves and help our community and families. So no complicated setup. Really, Trust Wallet and how to create a wallet. It's so easy. And if you're not sure, there's a bunch of leaders in the community that can help you with that. You stay in control of your wallet. And I want to say, in terms of the onboarding, we're about to make it so much easier in less than a month. So stay tuned. Import. So now the most important part of this reminder is never share your recovery phrase. Actually write them down. Don't take no screenshot. Don't write it in your notes section of your Apple account or whatever notes and Google account. Write it on a piece of paper. Write it at least 2 or 3 times. Put it in separate places so that way, if you forget or you lose your phone or you change phone, you can restore your account. Because one thing that Trust Wallet doesn't do when you have a new phone, it doesn't transfer your account automatically. You have to do it. It is your account. And always double check our website. It must be HelpingHands.cash. I always tell people, don't call us only Helping Hands. Call us HelpingHands.cash. This is our true name. We're not just Helping Hands. We are HelpingHands.cash because we all need a helping hand financially. We need to help each other. We need to help each other, with the financial burden that's getting bigger and bigger, heavier and heavier, with all the geopolitical uncertainties, the price of oil, fertilizer, there's so many uncertainties. We don't even know how the year is going to end. We're not even midway through the year. And check where we are right now. But that's where a community like Helping Hands Cash could be your safe haven. And we put security first, and you are in full control. This is not one of those systems where the CEO, the so-called CEO on some stupid personality worship is controlling anything and telling you what to do. The creator and the founder, which is me, or you could call me the lead ambassador. I'm not in a better position than you. Your network could be deeper than mine. And I want you to succeed. Your success is my success. We're raising funds together. This is no joke. I don't know what your needs are. I got needs too. And our needs are all based. It's, like, think about it. Most people don't sleep well, don't eat well, and always stress themselves because their finances, they can't make ends meet. There's not enough hours in the day to work. There's not enough gig in this economy. And with AI almost replacing everything, what is the next generation going to do? So this is why we have what we have. And the only thing that matters and what we have is to share. Invite 2 people or more. Help them do the same. That's what completes cycles, unlocks recurring rewards, and creates real momentum. It's not complicated. It's very easy. And we all have a network of people that we know, from family and friends to strangers to co-workers to different people that we cross paths on the regular. So you don't need a big team. You don't need to be knocking on people's door and the whole neighborhood. You're not selling chocolate. You're not a, religious leader trying to like convert people. All you need to do is share with 2 people that at least believe in you. And I know that some of us, me included, obviously, we've been in what we call the NFL. No friends left, no family left, because you cried wolf for so many times. You've invited them to so many things that never worked, or maybe started to work, and next thing you know, it went down the drain. This is not Helping Hands.cash. We've been here, we are here, and we're going to continue to be here. We took a pause. We had to go back to the drawing board, go back to the lab, and I think it was worth it. I think many of you who are existing members can see that, can feel it. So small actions, real impact, lasting change. So the gamification of crowdfunding, simple flow. 1, wallet. Set up your Web3 wallet. I recommend Trust Wallet. You could use MetaMask, SafePal, TokenPocket. 2, fund your wallet, add DAI and Pol, and like I said, probably get Pol and then swap it for DAI within Trust Wallet, for example. 3, activate the referral link that you receive from the person who invites you will bring you to the correct website, and you'll be able to activate the contribution level or levels that you want to start to participate in. 4, share. Invite 2 people to join. I say invite 2 people or more to join. 5, receive rewards. Cycles complete, rewards unlocked, and it's all sent directly to your Web3 wallet. There is no mechanism. You see, in 6 where it says withdraw, cash out your DAI. Your DAI is already in your wallet. The cash out is really from crypto to fiat. It's already in your Web3 wallet. You're not asking nobody permission for nothing. And there's nobody looking over your shoulder for nothing. This is the simplest system you've ever seen. And I say this with humility. I've seen many systems. I've even seen a 2x2 matrix in the past, but not presented the way that we're presenting ours. It was never presented with the gamification of crowdfunding, and they've used words that we don't use. We don't use words like profit, commission, revenue, ROIs, and things like that, because we are truly crowdfunding. Another thing that I want to set the record straight, people like to ask, what's the product? What's the service? Brothers and sisters, if there is a product or if there is a service, it is not crowdfunding. It becomes affiliated marketing or network marketing, and we're not that. And we're strictly a decentralized, community-driven crowdfunding system. Because let's be real, let me go off the record. Most people don't want to sell products. What they want is they want to raise funds. They're lacking, maybe they're short of $500, maybe $1,000, maybe, they short of $5,000, maybe $10,000 or more for some life-changing things. And they don't want to waste time selling potions, lotions, vitamins, and whatever the slogan. And they don't want empty promises. They don't want someone that's going to say their system is decentralized, and then you got to ask that person for permission. I could mention a name if I wanted to, but I'm not going to mention no name. But there's a few people out there, I know one in particular, try to make people believe that his system is decentralized when it's far from it. Far. So far. It's like the distance between hell and heaven. That's how far his system is from being decentralized. So let me finish this. So simple systems create consistent action. Easy to follow, hard to ignore, repeatable, scalable, sustainable. Together we build and win. Small actions, big impact, endless possibilities. Welcome to HelpingHands.cash. That's what we have. It's as simple as that. It's the simplest system you can ever find. And if you find another one like this system, they probably imitated us. I'm saying this with all humility. But ladies and gentlemen, this is HelpingHands.cash. We are here every Tuesday, every Thursday. Get used to it. I know the time may not be conducive to everybody.